Hey, it's Jessica, and here is Peaches. As you can see, he is not clamped anymore. His tail just looks a little raggedy and needs to grow in again. So he's in the salt treatment for 3 or 4 days. And now he's out of it, and luckily the plants are okay, because I never did take the plants out. I was lazy about that. Yeah, he seems to be fine. And all the other guys are fine. But today's video will be about like a checklist of what you should buy when you are a new fish owner or a new Betta owner. So of course the first item would be the tank. It can be glass or acrylic. Here's an example of a glass one. You're going to want to make sure it's at least 1 gallon. Usually the bigger the better for beginners, because if something goes wrong you have more water volume for, you know, if you don't do a water change properly or whatever, or don't keep up to them. The bigger the tank, the less water changes. And this one's 2.5 gallons. It's very cute because it looks like a standard like 10 gallon, like this one. There's the glass canopy, which I would definitely get. I think they do sell these without a top. If you're going to buy a Betta, you definitely want a top, because they can jump. Here's mint. Or you can get a critter keeper. These come in different sizes. This one's like a 3 gallon one. You can get a 2.5 gallon one. You can even get like a 4 gallon or a 5 gallon. Or you can just get like a 10 gallon tank, depending if you want to, you know, put other fish other than a Betta with it. This is a regular 5 gallon. And here's a fancy 5 gallon. This is the spec. Still 5 gallons, just different. And there's the other 10 gallon. You're definitely going to want to think about lights for the aquarium. If you're buying an aquarium kit, sorry about the camera being all shaky. Here's the cat meowing. These will come with lights, so you don't. If you buy like a 10 or a 5 gallon kit, it will come with the hood. It will come with the lights. Usually they even come with filters. But if you're buying one of these, they don't come with lights. So you can buy like this one. This thing right here is an LED light that's just suctioned on. Or you can even put like a desk light and have it hanging over. And you can just leave it like I do. These guys don't. They get natural light. You know, depending on what you put in the tank, you might not need bright lights. The newbies, none of the newbies have died, so they're doing fine. Second thing to make sure you have is a heater, because Bettas do need heat. It doesn't matter what people tell you, how big your tank is, they need a heater. This is the 25 watt Theo Hydor, which is actually a really good heater because it is adjustable. See that knob? And it's only 25 watts. It's not like it's on all the time. It goes on, it turns off, and when the water reaches below the temperature set, it turns on again. So this one is a preset heater. It's preset to 78 degrees. It works for me. I know some people have complained about these heaters. It's the Tetra heater. It keeps all my tanks at 78. It's just if your Betta gets sick and you need to turn up, have a higher heat, you can't do that with these. If you decide to get like a 1 gallon or 2 gallon, there's this little heaters. You have to be careful with these. You definitely want a thermometer. Even if you have, you know, a reliable heater, you still want a thermometer. But these you have to be careful with because they usually just keep heating. They don't turn off. So, I think this is at 80. It's keeping it at 80. It's covered though. When it's not covered, it usually drops at drops below 78 usually. That's why I have it covered. Because the size is a bit big for that little heater. It's only 10 watts, I think. 8 watts. So it's a bit small. So yeah, you definitely want a thermometer along with your heater. These are cheap though. You can usually get these for like $2. And you can monitor the heat. Then you're going to want substrate for your tank. You can go sand or gravel. This is all gravel. All my tanks are gravel. Sand is kind of harder to work with. I personally don't really like sand because of cleaning purposes. You know, like when you gravel, you can actually get in there. You can't do that with sand, you have to hover on top. But you can pick whatever you like. So it's like you can use those little gems, rocks. And if you want live plants, you can buy live plants. You want fake plants, you can buy fake plants, but make sure they're silk. If you're getting a Betta, make sure they're silk. You have no sharp edges. And if you want ornaments like this, you can get an ornament. Or just like clay pots, like what Crute has. The little pots make good little homes. He doesn't really go into it. Depends on your Betta. Mint actually goes into this. Both holes actually. It's funny to watch him go through that little hole and go through and then the bottom. So he likes it. I thought it might be too small for him, but no, it works. And then filter depending on the size of the tank. If you're gonna go with something small like this, there's really no point of having a filter. You can do it and have like small filter, but I find it just takes up room in the tank. And you still have to do like 2 water changes a week, even with a filter, because you're not going to really build a cycle with a small of a tank. So you're still going to be doing like 2 50% water changes. Well, I do 2 like 70% water changes without a filter, but that's because I have real plants. If you're not going to have real plants, the rule of thumb is 1 50% and 1 100% a week. I'll show you I'll show you my filters, which didn't come with these tanks. I changed them out because I didn't like the ones that come with these tanks. These are all aqua clears. That's the aqua clear 20. This one's the aqua clear 30. They have more room for media. They also have adjustable flow. This one's on high. I forgot to put it back on low. So yeah, so you can just keep that on low for them. And these big tanks you can cycle, and then you only have to do 1 water change a week. And it's good to go. And of course you're going to need maintenance equipment. You're going to need the siphon or / gravel vacuum. Here's mine. So what happens is this end goes into your bucket or whatever you're using. This end gets put into the tank like this. So it's drawing up water. And you're pushing it into the gravel. You're picking up any poos or dirt that are in the gravel. And if you see anything, floating around, point it, suck it up. So you're gonna definitely need one of these. Even if you use sand, you're gonna want one of these anyways. It's easier to do water changes with a siphon. You're gonna want an algae pad. If you want to go cheap, just buy one of these. These are like $2. You don't need the one that's on like the stick, like this one. You might want a net, but I don't really suggest netting Bettas. You might as well just keep a cup. Let's see. You might as well just keep one of these cups that they come in and cup them, because of their flowing fins. The net might hurt the fins. So it's much better to cup them. You're definitely going to need water conditioner. I suggest Prime, but you can use any really. I don't suggest the Betta water conditioners, the ones that say 4 Bettas on them, only because they're not in high concentration at all. They actually have a very low concentration. If you read them, they'll be like 1 capful for half a gallon. Well, if you have like a full-size tank, a whole cap for half a gallon, that's a lot of water conditioner. You can be buying a lot of bottles. Prime is the most concentrated. You're using 2 drops per gallon. You gain this small bottle is the one that has the dropper. Yeah. This is $4.99. Might be cheaper in the States. Then you've got this bottle, which is the biggest. It's half a liter, I think. Yeah, 500 milliliters. This one's like $18.99. I do have another size somewhere. But, yeah, and the good thing about Prime is a lot of the other water conditioners just changes the chlorine, chloramine, and heavy metals. It removes the chlorine and chloramine, but there's usually ammonia left over. This actually takes out the ammonia also, which isn't so bad if you have a cycle tank, because if you're changing water and you put this in your new water, so you have a little bit of ammonia, let's say, in the water due to your water conditioner, Your filter is going to fix that quickly. And if you have these tanks, that could become a problem if you have no filter. It says right on these that it will trying to read the instructions quickly. Detoxifies nitrite and nitrate, and it removes chlorine, chloramine, and ammonia. I don't know if this small bottle has the right instructions for this one here. You can even go on their website, which is seacom.com. You can even like double dose this in emergencies to detoxify nitrate and nitrite. Still provides slime coat like others. But yeah, you'll definitely want, that's like a must that you have to have. Pretty much all this is a must. Like a lot of, like when I first bought my first Betta, I didn't, like I had water conditioner, I had this and that. But there was a couple of things that I had to buy a couple of days later. Like a heater, I didn't have a heater at first. Having a test kit is beneficial for test strips. But you're going to want to buy the expensive test strips, so you might as well just go out and buy the master kit. Mine's on the floor right now. So, if Pat was using this last, so yeah. That's just the freshwater master kit. Especially if you're going to cycle a tank, that helps. To be honest, I didn't have that kit for a long time when I first started out with fish, and none of them died because of, you know, bad stuff in the water. Just do more water changes at first instead of once a week, even with a big tank, even with 10 gallons and 5 gallons. And that should keep the ammonia down and nitrate down. You're going to want food, of course, because you're going to buy new fish, you have to feed it. You're going to want a pellet. Bettas like pellets. Most won't even touch flakes. Of course, you get the odd case that's the opposite. This is the New Life Spectrum. I know Acrylic has pellets. Another really good one is the Omega 1 Betta Buffet pellet. That's a really good one, and this one's a really good one. And then you can buy like freeze-dried bloodworms, or frozen bloodworms. Frozen bloodworms are better. Freeze-dried is not so good, but it's just a treat anyways. You don't give it once a week. And of course you're going to want to pick your fish. And then a couple of additives that you might want on hand right away is aquarium salt. Now there's my other bottle of Prime I was talking about. You're going to want aquarium salt. This is aquarium salt. Natural fish tonic. They come in smaller cartons than this one. This one's big. You're going to want this, and you're also probably going to want Epsom salt. Just because both treat different issues. You don't always give fish Epsom salt depending on what's going on, and you don't always give them this depending on what's going on. Aquarium salt is good for anything like fin or tail rot, clamping, stuff like that. While the Epsom salt is good for like dropsy, constipation, because Epsom salt's good for internal issues. So you might want that right off the bat, or at least buy it soon after. So that is the, you know, little checklist of items that you need when you have your fish. I'll probably write the list below in the down box. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. If you have any requests, go ahead and request, because every time I ask for a request I usually only get one instead of a whole bunch like I'm hoping for. But yeah, I always answer all my requests. If you go back and look at my videos, I'll ask for a request, and then I'll get one, and I always do that one right away, and then I never get any others. I just want to show Mint more, because he's one of my new guys. He's so pretty. And Dumbo is still in the breeder, because I still have nowhere to put him yet. So yeah, no more fish, because I have no room. I really like this tank. This is the like 15 bucks, so you can get, you know, tanks for cheap if you don't have a lot of money. And once you have like this stuff, like the siphon and stuff like that, getting a second fish or third fish, you know, is easy because all you need is a tank at that point, another heater, and a thermometer, and Decor and stuff like that. You don't need the, you know, another siphon, another of the cleaning supplies and all that. You'll want a bucket, of course. I got mine at Home Depot for like $5. It's a 5-gallon bucket, and it's just like we've never used it for anything else other than the fish, because you don't want soap or any chemicals going on in the bucket. But yeah, so that's my quick little checklist on what you should have when you first buy a fish. Really, like most tropical fish, but this is specifically for bettas. And that's orchid. Mr. Mustard's tail, I think he's just a fin nipper because his tail's still kind of ugly with the edges. Of course, he's always shy with the light. And the poster in the back doesn't help. But yeah. So yeah, please request. I need to request. Oh, nobody wants to see my computer screen, especially when it's black. And I will answer any of your questions. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.